Hi everyone, my name is Jenna Macklin with Team Save the Dislikes. Quick update on our project as of last time. Overall, we've been updating the repository to match the cookie cutter data science template. With that, we're making sure that our scripts are functioning with this new structure so that everything is organized more cohesively and works effectively. This includes like updating the README and such. So we've made some very good progress on here. But overall, what we've really been focusing on this week is more of the data modeling. So as of last week, we had left off kind of running our principal component in analysis and selecting our features. We also reconciled the features that we selected with what is now available via the YouTube API. And doing so, selected the features that we want to have for our model. So after defining those, what we did is consider whether or not it was beneficial to look solely at English YouTube videos. And while the API does not necessarily determine what is and is not an English YouTube video, we found our own workaround, which included running a sentiment analysis on the description of a video. If the video was in a foreign language using Vader, it would return a neutral value of 1. So by filtering out anything with a neutral value of 1, we were able to just extract English data only for the purpose of testing our model and determining accuracy. The Y value for our model, instead of just predicting like the outright count of dislikes, we've decided to encode our model using a ratio of likes to dislikes. And then with one hot coding, if anything returns a value of less than 50% of a like to dislike ratio, it returns a -1. Between 0.51 and 75, it's 0, and anything above 75% would return 1. 1 being like an indicator of a good video, -1 being an indicator of a bad video, 0 being neutral, of course. So after doing that, we've been preparing for the data model just by cleaning things up, taking it into a data frame to perform the processing. After we selected the columns that we needed, we did some quick converting from our true and false columns to Boolean columns just to make sure everything was in a cohesive order for the model, converting category columns to something that was numeric as well, dislike scores, things of that nature. And then once we got all that, we were able to create our training test sets and get that going so that way we could start actually testing the model. And I will pass it over to James to discuss how we've been doing that.
Yeah, so thank you, Jenna. So once we did that, we've run everything through our preparing data for model things, and we've gotten some training data frames for that. And we're also saving these to pickle files just so we can use them later and we don't have to reprocess the training, because sometimes the sentiment analysis can take time. And when we want to iterate fast with the models, it helps to have them saved. So we've saved one that has only the English as a training set. And we have another one where we basically don't remove the foreign ones. So we have all of them, and we wanted to compare those, as well as a secondary testing set. And this is a separate random sample from the database of 0.2%. So it's a bit smaller, but we're using this as a complete test set that's never been seen in the training. And we just wanted to help that to improve our accuracy. So we have some different helper models here, helper functions wrap around to kind of train models with our training and test sets and output some statistics. We went through a couple different models. We've done dummy classifier, we did logistic regression, and we've done random forest, with the random forest performing the best. Now, if I scroll all the way down to the end where we get to the interesting part, we've done some training of it. We did a training of 90% of the training data, 10% as testing, and then we have that final test set as a 0.2% of the full database. The interesting part is that the English only actually performs just as well, with a 90% F1 score as well, and an 80% F1 score on that held out 0.2% training set, which is pretty good. And if we look at the confusion matrix, it's really good at doing the positives and it's really good at doing the negatives, and it's kind of failing in the neutral ground, but that's kind of makes sense because those are kind of in middle ground videos. We do think that we can improve this model though by tweaking the model and using standardization on our input values, although we are going to try out gradient boosting machines and neural networks as well to improve the model. So we think that way going forward, we could improve it. In the end, we are going to be working on the web app. So Sashaank is working on the web app, which we have made good progress on. And eventually, we're going to have a way to display kind of visualizations that people can interact with and kind of tell a cohesive story that will enhance our about and readme. So that's it for this week. Thank you.